Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Williams, Senior Content Marketing Manager here at TradeGecko, and I'll be running today's webinar, 5 Trends in Wholesale Distribution 2018. Joining me on today's webinar, we have Yue Yang, Director of Product here at TradeGecko.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
And also on today's webinar, we have Shirley Lee, a TradeGecko customer and General Manager from Innova Distribution.
Hi everybody.
Thank you both for joining us today. Before we jump into the trends for 2018, we need to take a step back and look at the key trends we experienced in 2017 and how they have impacted this year's list. 2017 was an amazing year for wholesalers, with Statista predicting the global B2B e-commerce market was worth $7.7 trillion US, with B2B business dwarfing that of B2C market. Omnichannel retail boomed, and the buying trends of consumers and businesses were constantly shifting, which challenged wholesalers and distributors to find new and creative ways to stay ahead of the curve. Yue, what were some of the key trends you observed last year in wholesale and distribution?
Yeah, for sure. So, I've had the luxury of working with a couple of, 100 of our different wholesale customers here at TradeGecko, and it's really interesting to learn a little bit about what are some things that they cared a lot about in 2017. One thing that we noticed and we learned about was how everyone really started transitioning to being mobile first. So as business owners who are knee-deep in wholesale, you know that you're always out and about, talking to your customers, selling on the road, and you know that at any given time you want to be able to open up and open up your app and take a look at where your sales are at, where your inventory is at, and we realized that being mobile first is a very key part of running a wholesale-centric business today. The second trend that we noticed was around digital payments. We know that as consumers, digital payments, on a B2C world happens already. We're used to buying things online. We're used to paying for things online. We're used to paying for things with our phones. But the concept of doing B2B digital payments is still very new for a lot of wholesalers. But what we're learning is that a lot of the customers that our wholesalers are working with are starting to expect online payments. What that means is whether you're putting an order in manually or putting an order in through an online portal, there's an expectation that customers are able to pay quickly, they're able to do everything within one click. And one really interesting stat that we learned as well is that a lot of wholesalers who do use online payments like TradeGecko's payment platform get actually paid 3 times faster. We all know that for small businesses, getting paid is such a critical part. Making sure that your cash flow is positive and it's taken care of well. Digital payments is a very, very important step that we took in 2017 to make sure that we really move the wholesale industry forward in that front. The third one is customization. This is a really interesting one because when people think about wholesale businesses traditionally, they think spreadsheets, they think facts, they think, transacting over email or phone calls. But what we're learning is people expect a very different experience these days, even for wholesale. They're expecting a personalized online shopping experience where that wholesale is all about relationships. You want to be able to go to an online portal where you can see customized products, prices, payment terms, that's customized to you. And you want to have that all seamlessly integrated with your payment system so that within one click you can see all the information that's relevant to you, you can buy, and you can also connect and pay within one go. That customization is super important for customers today. The fourth trend we're observing is the omni-channel trend, and this is one that we're really passionate about. That as small businesses grow, one of the big things is they are starting to realize that there's more places to sell than ever before. You might have a Shopify store, and you might realize that in order to branch out into Australia, you might have a listing on Amazon. That wherever there's a footing for you to start a store or start an online front, a lot of businesses are doing that. They're realizing that it's really important to use that as a top of the funnel to build their sales. But it's even more important to constantly have real-time stock information out there so you don't misalign customer expectations by going out of stock when you actually have your products in multiple touch points. And finally, one thing that we've observed that is definitely a byproduct of different B2C expectations is that while in the B2C world, we're seeing services like Amazon having things like 2-hour delivery or 24-hour deliveries. we're realizing that for wholesale customers, that's also starting to become a trend, where they're expecting cheaper, faster, higher quality shipping rates, that they can get goods faster and more reliably across the board. And so these are some of the key trends that we're observing over the last year. Many of these, of course, will carry into 2017. And we're really excited to be part of some of these key trends.
Thanks, Yue. Now that we've taken a look back at 2017, let's take a look forward at the 5 key trends we've identified for wholesale distributors in 2018. Omnichannel selling, growing commerce ecosystems, expanding into global markets, transparency, and lastly, automation. Yue, could you please take us through what these key trends are all about and where you feel the greatest opportunities are going to be for wholesale distribution in 2018?
For sure. The first one I want to talk about is omni-channel selling. It's really interesting to see how in 2017 that was a key trend that we're bringing forward to 2018, because we realize that this is huge for a lot of wholesalers. We're seeing new marketplaces pop up left, right, and center. Whether that be Amazon in Australia that just launched a couple weeks ago, or new marketplaces that are localized. We realize that for a lot of businesses, being able to have as many fronts as possible continues to be a trend. Companies that were traditionally offline want to come online. Companies that are online are looking at what they can do to have an offline presence that's seamless as well. One thing that we're realizing is that as you have different touch points with an omni-channel sort of workflow, one thing that gets difficult is managing operations. It gets complex when you have orders coming in from a bunch of different places. It's tough to keep your stock levels in check. It's tough to connect everything to your different platforms, including your shipping or your accounting platforms. So one thing that we're really bullish on is how technology can avoid some of these complexities, avoid having you stock out or have customers that are unhappy because you're not able to fulfill their promise. The second trend here is the growing commerce ecosystem. As a whole, we're realizing that as you run a business, it's getting more and more complex. Your online store needs to connect with your accounting platform, needs to connect with your warehouse. But we know that as a business, as a wholesale business and industry, there's more components that now talk to each other, connect to each other. And what that means is that everything now allows for an easier ordering and frictionless customer experience. From the person who's making the order to the person who gets the order through the door, all of that can be connected in one go, which allows for that real customer trust to be developed, an essential part of the wholesale business. Things like search engine discoverability, where traditionally people who are in the wholesale business aren't thinking about how they can be discovered online, whereas we realize that for a lot of businesses today, having a good online presence in their wholesale business is what's going to make the difference for them going into 2018. Once again, getting paid fast online through systems that exist to help make it get paid faster and more reliably is going to help with cash flow for a lot of small businesses. And finally, real-time customer service, whether that be live chat, on mobile, allowing you to constantly talk to customers wherever they may be. These are some of the key trends we're seeing with a growing e-commerce ecosystem. The next one we have is expanding into global markets. We know that as wholesalers grow, as brand owners grow, as you capture a market, one thing that you're constantly thinking about is how you can more easily span to other countries or new territories. We know that that gets extremely complex. You know that customers may have different expectations. You know that you have different workflows you need to care about, different supply chain considerations that you need to have. Digitizing all those different components is a very critical part of expanding into global markets. We've seen so many different customers break through the different markets by digitizing their business. They realize that by having everything in one place, by having everything in one system, it allowed them to scale that much more easily with time. We know that online marketplaces are also expanding globally. As an example, Amazon is going global now across different territories, different continents. We see that trend continuing. And cross-channel marketing strategies that cross borders as well is going to be next up in terms of helping you break the traditional boundaries, where in the past, where only a set of customers with a set territory will get exposure to your brand, that's going to soon change as those lines begin to blur. And finally, payments is always one that's always very challenging, where different territories have different ways of payments. With online payments coming to fruition, we see that trend changing a lot, where there's going to be streamlined cross-border payment services that allow for credit card payments, for example, being a very mainstream way to pay for your wholesale orders. The next trend that we have is transparency. We keep talking about how as you grow globally, as you grow into different omni-channel sort of touch points with your customers, it's getting harder. It'll get harder and harder for you to have true visibility into where your business is at. We're realizing and learning that for a lot of wholesalers, they care about having a single source of truth where they can see where they're at, where they're headed, insights about their business. And they care about having it real time so that they can see and make data-driven business decisions. Do you know if your promotion is doing well? Do you know that if you're about to stock out? These are things that are very critical in a wholesale business because you have a customer promise to fulfill, and we want to make sure that businesses can actually do that. We know that it's more important than ever before to tie in different parts of your workflow and your ecosystem together, whether that be accounting, shipping, or e-commerce. And we know that doing that allows you to streamline your entire workflow in your supply chain and fulfillment process. And finally, one thing that we've learned is that transparency also means that you want to make sure that your wholesale and your B2C workflows also flow in one place. You know that you draw from the same warehouse potentially for the same goods that you're selling. So allowing all of that to flow through one place in a transparent way is a very important thing that we've learned that wholesalers care a lot about. And lastly, and this is what gets us really excited, is to learn about all the different possibilities of automation. We hear a lot of brand owners talk about a dream that they have that they can run their business from the beach and not have to touch anything and have things automatically be sold and automatically fulfilled to their customers. And what we're learning is that people want to be able to eliminate repetitive manual work. So whether that be fulfilling goods, picking and packing goods, or printing and pasting shipping labels, people are finding different ways to try and automate as much of that as possible. We've seen some really amazing technology in automation and sensors and tracking from a hardware perspective in warehouses that we're really excited to see how that continues to grow through 2018. And we're also seeing that people are having more visibility than ever before to see how they can solve different parts of their operational workflows with automation. People want to be able to automate their businesses wherever they go. So they want to be able to use mobile apps to give them information about where the business is at to make quick snap decisions on the fly. And they also want to have visibility into their business at any given time using business intelligence software to tell them when anomalies exist or when they need to take a very specific action to sort of fix where their business is at.
Thanks, Yue. That was really interesting. I think we can all see very clearly that 2018 is going to be a huge year for wholesalers, with technology definitely playing a huge part of that as well. So next up, Shirley, welcome. As the General Manager of Anova Distribution, a specialised wholesale distributor of luxury home fragrances based in Singapore, we would love to learn about your business and where you feel the greatest growth opportunities are going to be for wholesale distribution in 2018. So firstly, Shirley, can you tell us a bit about Anova Distribution's story?
Oh, hi. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Firstly, I would like to introduce that Anova Distribution is actually a specialized distributor of home fragrances. We are probably the only ones in Singapore right now who solely deals with fragrance products such as diffusers and candles. We started off in 2013 out of the appreciation and the passion for fine home fragrances with our capital injection from our Swiss investors who are very strong in the beauty and fragrance industry. So fast forward to today, the company now represents leading luxury brands from Australia and Europe, in Singapore and in Malaysia as well.
And how is 2017 for your business? Can you share some of the key achievements and challenges you experienced last year?
2017 was great for us. We actually seized a huge upturn for Anova. It was like a roller coaster ride. While e-commerce continues to grow in the market, which is why we see a lot of retail spaces left with no tenants, hoarded up storefronts, and with also economists projecting dips in retail sales, it seems very unlikely that our business will be badly hit. It seems very likely that our business will be badly hit, especially when our products require customers to physically experience them at the shop front. But luckily for us, the home fragrance industry in Singapore is still budding. Most Singaporeans are only familiar with air fresheners, and they have yet to discover the beauty of fine fragrances for home. which is why the appreciation for fine home fragrance grow in the users, and quality is not something that they can forsake. So Singaporeans are always on the forefront when it comes to new trend, lifestyle products, and enjoying luxury. They're always eager to learn and discover new experiences, such as the appreciation of home fragrances in favor of our business, which is why 2017 was great for Innova.
So what were some of the key learnings from 2017 for your business, and how have they informed your business strategy for this year?
For us, our key learning is that retail is definitely not dead. We are still very positive, and it has definitely evolved. But consumers are not moving entirely online because, especially when it comes to our products. Instead, they are looking for new experiences offline. We still see shoppers around in the malls and things like that. So we feel that offline retail can continue to be a big focus for us. And home fragrance is something that you can only truly understand when you immerse yourself into it. And new retail experience is the cruise of it.
So which of the 5 trends that we were talking about earlier will your business be focusing on 2018, and why? To recap, they were omni-channel selling, growing commerce ecosystems, expanding into global markets, transparency, and automation.
Definitely omni-channel selling, because technology has helped us in today's world to work faster, but it has also cultivated impatience in consumers' behavior. So omni-channel is the solution to this, coupled with the benefits of more fulfilled orders online and offline. And then we can improve on forecasting, cost savings in advertising, efficient warehousing, but most importantly, it increased the sales and customer satisfaction. In fact, inventory and order management transparency is a key to optimize omni-channel selling.
Thanks, Shirley. Do you have any advice for other wholesale distributors on how they can achieve some success in 2018?
For summary, I would think that the wholesaler distributors would have to evolve with the trends. And retail business has always been very fast-paced since last time, so it will be even more so with the e-commerce eating a share of the pie, which is why we have to continue to evolve and move together with the time in a very quick manner.
Yeah, I completely agree. So how does your business use technology like TradeGecko and Xero, for instance, to plan, manage, and monitor your business operations?
Yes, for our business, we use TradeGecko for inventory management, and we use Xero for our bookkeeping. And our business front end as well as back end users TradeGecko. And from retail point, from our departmental stores to all our to our warehousing, to our corporate sales executive, and also right up to our purchasing and marketing team, every one of us uses TradeGecko. That helps us to give us real-time updates, which is very vital to making timely decisions for our fast-paced business to prevent loss of business opportunities.
Can I just ask, what was life like before TradeGecko?
Before TradeGecko, there was a lot more processes, and things used to be, the previous software was a white elephant for us because there was a lot of customization to be done. But TradeGecko has helped us to eliminate and cut down all the unnecessary procedures and processes in the previous software.
So overall, how's your experience been with TradeGecko? Like, would you recommend TradeGecko to other businesses?
Oh, definitely. TradeGecko has actually surpassed our team's expectation in terms of ease of use, and that the user interface was beautiful, and most importantly, the technical support given by the dedicated support team, and with an additional personal touch. So whenever we have any issues or we have any problems, we could either call in or we will just screenshot and email in to the support team. And most of the time, we actually get very immediate replies from the team. So we would definitely recommend TradeGecko to other businesses, even to our competitors.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Look, lastly, what's up next for Innova, and how can we learn more about your company and your beautiful products?
For Innova, moving into 2018, right, we're actually looking into expansion of channels, both locally as well as regionally. We will also be looking into getting new brands to expand our portfolio. And if you want to know what's happening, you can almost now WhatsApp to our sleep by logging to our website at www.innovadistribution.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Shirley.
Thank you.
I'd like to extend a very special thank you to you and to Yiwei for joining today's webinar. And I would also like to thank the audience for tuning in, and we really hope that today's webinar will help you grow and scale your business in 2018 and beyond. To recap, the top 5 trends you need to think about this year are omnichannel selling, growing commerce ecosystems, expanding into global markets, inventory and order management transparency, and lastly, automation. Don't forget, we'll also be sending you all a free ebook on the 5 trends in wholesale distribution for 2018. So look out for that in your inbox. With a lens on these trends and the right tools as part of your technology backbone, 2018 should prove to be a great year ahead. If you're interested in learning more about TradeGecko, please check out our website, start a free trial, or contact one of our customer support team today. Thanks, and we hope you will join us again next time.